You can be surrounded by people, in the middle of a bustling city, or even in a room full of family, and still feel utterly alone. It's a quiet ache that many experience, a deep sense of isolation that isn't always visible on the surface. This feeling isn't just a matter of discomfort. Recent studies reveal it can profoundly impact our physical health and how long we live. Think of loneliness not just as an emotional state, but as a significant health risk. Surprising research in the field of gerontology has shown that feeling isolated can be as detrimental to your mortality risk as smoking 15 cigarettes a day. That's a startling comparison, isn't it? 15 cigarettes daily is a widely recognized danger, yet loneliness, an often hidden struggle, carries a similar weight in terms of its potential harm. What's even more striking is how often older adults, who might be particularly susceptible to social changes like loss of loved ones or mobility issues, underestimate the power of simple social interactions to counteract this risk. They might feel disconnected, but not realize that small, accessible actions can build a shield against the negative effects of isolation. Scientists studying aging have been discovering incredible things about the brain and social connection. They found that even very small, seemingly insignificant social behaviors practiced regularly can activate specific regions in the brain. These are the areas linked to crucial functions like memory, our ability to manage our emotions, and surprisingly, even the biological processes that contribute to a longer life. Imagine your brain lighting up like a warm, cozy room just from a simple exchange. These daily social behaviors aren't about grand gestures or needing a packed social calendar. They're about consistent, gentle interactions that keep those vital neural pathways active and healthy as we age. They serve as a form of gentle exercise for the social parts of our minds. Researchers have identified 7 such tiny acts or daily habits that seem particularly powerful in offering this kind of protection. These aren't complicated or expensive. They don't require you to be an extrovert or drastically change your lifestyle. They are woven into the fabric of everyday life, often right in front of us, yet their potential is immense. Let's look at these 7 habits, these small but mighty ways to nurture connection and in turn potentially extend the health and vitality of your life. The first is as simple as saying good morning to a neighbor each day. It's a brief moment, maybe just a nod and a few words, but it acknowledges shared space and mutual existence. It's like a tiny seed of recognition planted each morning. The second habit involves reaching out intentionally to someone you care about with a weekly phone call. In a world often dominated by quick texts or emails, hearing a familiar voice, sharing a moment of uninterrupted conversation creates a deeper bond. It says, "You are important enough for me to set aside time just for you." Thirdly, joining one small group offers a sense of belonging. Whether it's a book club where ideas are shared, or church group offering community support, or just a regular coffee meetup with friends, being part of a consistent gathering provides a predictable source of connection and shared interest. It builds a small, reliable village around you. The fourth habit is perhaps the easiest, yet it takes conscious effort, smiling at strangers during errands or walks. A smile is a universal language, a small offering of warmth to the world around you. It can brighten someone else's moment and, surprisingly, even lift your own spirits. It's a silent acknowledgement of shared humanity. Fifth, sharing a memory or story with someone younger bridges generational gaps. This act honors your life experience and passes on wisdom while also creating a unique bond with another person. It gives your past a present meaning and makes you feel valued. These initial 5 habits already paint a picture of small, regular interactions that weave a stronger social fabric. They are accessible, often spontaneous, or easily planned. But among these 7 habits, there is one habit that stands out, not because it's difficult, but because it is surprisingly underutilized despite its profound benefits.
This particular habit, the sixth one on the list, involves a simple action: asking someone a genuine question once a day. It might sound incredibly basic, perhaps even trivial. We ask questions all the time, don't we? How are you? Or, can you pass the salt? But this isn't about perfunctory inquiries. It's about asking a genuine question, one that invites a real response, and then staying present to truly listen. This single act, asking a genuine question and listening intently, is far more powerful than it appears. Neuroscientists have a term for the intention behind this: active listening intention. They've observed what happens in the brain when we engage in this kind of focused curiosity and attention towards another person. It specifically lights up the prefrontal cortex, a part of the brain crucial for complex thought, social behavior, and decision-making. When you genuinely listen, your brain isn't just passively receiving sound. It's actively processing, empathizing, and connecting. This engagement helps reinforce neural pathways, contributing to brain plasticity, the brain's incredible ability to reorganize itself by forming new neural connections throughout life. This plasticity is key to maintaining cognitive function as we age. Studies conducted in the blue zones, regions of the world where people live measurably longer, healthier lives, offer fascinating insights into the habits of centenarians. These communities often share common traits, including strong social ties and a sense of purpose. Researchers in these areas have noted that many of the oldest, most vibrant individuals maintain a daily practice of curiosity. They ask questions, they engage with their community, and they remain interested in the world and the people around them. This consistent curiosity, this habit of genuinely asking and listening, seems deeply intertwined with their slower rates of cognitive decline. Beyond the brain, this simple act of asking a genuine question and truly listening has a powerful effect on our body's stress response. When we engage in deep, meaningful human connection, even in small doses, it directly helps reduce the levels of cortisol, the body's primary stress hormone. High cortisol levels over time can contribute to inflammation and various health problems. Simultaneously, this connection increases the production of oxytocin, often called the bonding hormone. Oxytocin fosters feelings of trust, empathy, and relaxation. This neurochemical shift, lower cortisol, higher oxytocin, doesn't just make us feel better. It has tangible physical benefits. It supports heart health, helping to regulate blood pressure and heart rate, and it bolsters the immune system, making us more resilient to illness. So asking someone a genuine question isn't just a polite conversation. It's a biological intervention. It tells your brain and body, I am connected, I am seen, and I am seeing you. This mutual recognition has profound effects. Think about how rarely we move beyond superficial pleasantries. How often do we ask, "How are you?" without pausing to truly hear the answer, or without following up with a more specific, heartfelt question? This sixth habit encourages us to pause, to look someone in the eye, and to ask something that shows we are genuinely interested in them. It could be about their day, their thoughts on something, or how they feel about a particular situation. It is this depth, this authenticity in the asking and the listening that makes this habit so potent, and perhaps why it's practiced less often than others. It requires a vulnerability, a willingness to step beyond the surface. Type number 6 if you've ever taken that pause to ask someone how they really are and truly listen to their response. Why are these seemingly small actions so powerful when we look at the bigger picture of aging and longevity? They are not merely social niceties or optional pleasantries. Gerontology research increasingly points to them as biologically protective behaviors. They are mechanisms our bodies and brains use to regulate vital systems.
These regular, small, social micro-interactions act like tiny, consistent doses of medicine for our well-being. They help regulate inflammation throughout the body, a process often linked to chronic diseases of aging. They help manage stress levels, preventing the corrosive effects of long-term anxiety. And as we've touched upon, they play a role in mitigating memory loss and cognitive decline by keeping the brain engaged and connected. The beauty of these habits is their accessibility. Most of them are completely cost-free. They don't require special equipment or membership fees. They often take less than 5 minutes out of your day. A brief exchange with a neighbor, a quick smile at someone passing by, a moment of focused listening during a conversation. Their power lies in their regularity and authenticity, not their duration or expense. Implementing these habits doesn't have to feel like a chore or another item on a to-do list. The gentlest way to begin is to simply choose one habit that resonates with you and commit to trying it for a week. Perhaps it's making that weekly call you've been meaning to make, or maybe it's specifically practicing that sixth habit, asking someone a genuine question and truly listening to their answer, no matter how brief. Pay attention to how it feels, both for you and for the other person. To help make this a mindful practice, consider keeping a small connection journal. It doesn't need to be elaborate. Just jot down a few notes at the end of the day. Who did you connect with? How did that interaction feel? Did you ask a genuine question today? And what did you learn or feel from the response? Reflecting on these small moments of social warmth can reinforce their importance and encourage you to continue. I remember a conversation I had with Frank, an extraordinary man I knew who was 87 years old. He often spoke about feeling increasingly invisible as he aged, a common sentiment that weighs heavily on the spirit. He decided to try one of these simple habits. He started with his mail carrier, a woman he saw nearly every day but had never truly spoken to beyond a quick hello. One morning, instead of just saying thank you for the mail, Frank paused. He looked her in the eye and asked, "How are your kids doing today?" He had heard her mention them once before and remembered. The mail carrier stopped, visibly surprised. She smiled a genuine, warm smile and talked about her children for a minute or two. Frank told me that simple question and the subsequent brief, warm exchange changed his whole morning. He said, "I felt less invisible," his voice filled with quiet emotion. That simple, genuine question, asked with sincere interest, became his secret to feeling alive and connected in a world that sometimes felt like it was passing him by. It was a tiny act with a profound impact on his sense of worth and connection. His story beautifully illustrates the power held within these simple social habits. They aren't just about being polite. They are about seeing and being seen, about acknowledging our shared humanity, and about nurturing the connections that are vital for our well-being and longevity. Subscribe if you want to discover more of these gentle yet powerful ways to cultivate a longer, more connected life. These 7 habits, particularly the often overlooked practice of asking a genuine question and truly listening, offer a profound yet simple path to enhancing not just the length of our lives, but the richness and health of our years. They remind us that connection is a fundamental human need, a source of biological protection, and a gentle wellspring of joy and meaning. Which of these 7 social habits speaks most to your heart today? Which one feels like a gentle nudge you might be ready to explore?